Oh my wonderful gist that it has happened again, and this time around it has to do with Nigeria and South Africa. What was supposed to be a parliamentary discussion between African countries has turned to smackdown. Raw, more of like John Cena and Roman Reigns are into a heated fight. It happens that there was a parliamentary discussion that went down in Malawi. It has to do with Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, countries that Africans are covering as a whole. So the discussion was centered on basically on the treatment of this xenophobia issue that has been going on. How foreign Africans has been treated in South Africa. It didn't go down well. It didn't just stop there. Nigerians pick it up, push it to South Africa, and South Africans could take it lightly. They didn't take it at all. To the extent there was serious exchange, there was no diplomacy. It's now become physical.
You can't change it. You can't change the name. You can't change it. Why? What did you do? That is their crime committed. That is a crime. That is a crime. Why did you commit a crime? Why did you commit a crime? That is a crime. You can take that back. You can't take that back. You can't be so much. You can't be no. We want to stop fighting. We want to stop fighting. We want to stop He's breaking up people. He's attacking people. You are attacking. Not attacking. Why are you breaking up? Not attacking. Why you talk? That's what you're doing. That's what you're This one is wow! Don't do that. They want the language to be there. They know me now. They know me now.
My problem no dey finish you. But the organizer of this event now, what did they even think? How will you put Nigeria and Africa almost the same place, the same proximity of sitting position? What were they thinking? What did they think that the outcome of this thing would be? Do you know the funniest part? Even while this parliamentary discussion, summit going on left and right, do you know that Jacinta Ugobesi Zuma and Faka Utakati are still leading a march every Thursday? Yeah, to show you how serious these guys are, like more of like, we not even say this way on the march. We say this way on the march. After everything, we are still going to do what we want to do. Jacinta made it clear that, okay, since you guys are tagging this thing more of like xenophobia, tagging xenophobia, why don't you take a time and think within yourself, African leaders? Why are your citizens running away from their country? Why are they insisting on staying back in our country?
We're here today because we're here to hand over a memorandum to the SADC leaders who have gathered here in Durban. To make sure that they discuss the issues that we've listed. Mostly it's their people flocking into South Africa, undocumented, coming into the country, and the minute that they land here, they suddenly have rights that they didn't have in their own countries. So if they want to protect their people from a so-called xenophobia that they're talking about, they must keep their people in their country. And then we can also try and build what we have, because our country is falling apart, you know. We don't have enough resources to take care of everyone. We don't have enough schools, enough hospitals, enough buildings. But we find ourselves having to carry the burden of all of Africa. And it's really, really not fair, you know. And instead of terming the whole thing as xenophobia. It's about time that they have the real conversation, which is why are our people flooding into South Africa? And after having that conversation, make means to take them back with you.
So in the heat of everything that has been happening, the president of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, came out and speak that he's actually ashamed of everything that has been going on, in every part of South Africa, despite the summit upon summit that has been going, because the aim of each summit is to preach unity, is to preach oneness. But at the end of everything, a different thing entirely will be happening on the street. A different thing entirely will be going on in every part and nook and cranny of South Africa. The president is actually ashamed of the activities of Jacinta Zuma and Fakao Utaki. So he was ashamed. He even went ahead and targeted a criminal action to show you how serious the president of South Africa is in bed in this situation, because he's ashamed. And not just ashamed, he's tired of everything.
As South Africans, we are deeply concerned and ashamed that people from other nations, some whose leaders are here, were treated badly and were even forced to leave the country under threat of violence. The criminal actions of a few within our communities are a repudiation of the solidarity upon which this Southern African community is built. We cannot preach integration at summits and practice exclusion in the streets of our countries. I say this as a South African, to South Africans first of all, but this is a broader challenge.
This issue didn't just stop at the South African president coming out to talk. He went ahead as far as the Zambia president came out also and talked. He took them down the memory lane. Look at these children. What are you people even doing? What are you people even fighting for? Because this thing you are fighting against us. We are the people that enable you to have this freedom. We are the people that gave you this thing you are enjoying. We and other African brothers will help you and get this freedom you are enjoying. And now you are now pushing it direct to our face as if we don't know what we are doing. To the extent that many soldiers were lost, enough of financial involvement was engaged in this freedom you people are fighting for. You people are pushing it down to our face. Do you know how many lives that was lost during this process of fighting for this South Africa freedom? And now you now turn around, revise the car, want to jam us with that same car we used to give you guys freedom. Do you know the funniest part of everything? Most of these people now fighting for this thing were not even born. We're not even born at that time all this thing played out, and they have the boldness to come out and say, go back to your country.
This country had its bridges bombed by the South African apartheid regime and many other African countries. But we say these are our brothers and sisters, and we fought with you. We fought with South Africans. We put our lives on the chopping boards. Some of our military people died. Civilians died, together with South Africans. Why should we separate ourselves now that you have the freedom? That's a homework that South Africans must really mark properly. What's happening there is wrong. And the leadership, my colleagues, I'm sure they're taking steps to correct that misnomer, that serious anomaly. If we did not accommodate South Africans here, how would you have been independent? How would you have succeeded in fighting apartheid? You wouldn't have succeeded. I think that's a homework for South Africa. Even ordinary South Africans like yourselves. You are here. Nobody's harassing you. And remember, a lot of the freedom fighters, Umkhonto we Sizwe guys, left wives and children here. So what are you calling those people when they come to South Africa? We're one family, one genetic material, one bloodline. We need unity. We need to fight poverty by investing together, by doing SADC projects together. And then we can grow our economies and provide opportunities for example, skills development in South Africa, in Zambia, in Botswana, in Zimbabwe, together. And investing in businesses that will employ our regional population, most of which is young in profile. I'm strong about this issue. It is not correct. What's happening in South Africa is not correct. And I can look at you in the eyes and look at the camera. That has to stop now. Now. There are issues of labor, jobs, there's a way you handle them. You don't have to kill fellow citizens. I'm talking of SADC citizens. I'm talking of African citizens. We have opened no visas here. You can come. No visas. This is your country. You have an investment to make here. I'll be the first one to facilitate it. Thank you.
So my wonderful gisters, let's now say that with all this happening, let's say that actually foreigners are the problem. Does it mean that taking laws into their hands is not the proper way to handle this issue? By looting, violently attacking other African countries, taking laws into their hands in the sense that even though the government agencies are on ground, they choose to do it their own way. It didn't just stop there, because they complained also that they don't have enough resources to take care of themselves. They complain about they want employment for their people. Now that a lot of Africans has left their country, why are they now still complaining about the high rate of unemployment? Because of recently, in the last quarters, the rate of unemployment in South Africa has skyrocketed.
In the last quarter, first quarter of 2026, we lost 345,000 jobs, and indeed this quarter we have lost 16,000 jobs.
The one that even burst my brain most was when I heard that a lot of schools, about 123 schools, are being shut down.
The Eastern Cape Department of Education is closing 123 schools due to dwindling enrollment numbers. The decision to close the school was taken this financial year, with the move already being implemented in some facilities, and a further 300 schools will also be closed in the next few years.
Why? It didn't happen all this while. As a result of a lot of African foreigners that left the country, they are now seeing the effect. This is not just about go back to your country. Now it's more than dancing amapiano in front of the camera, because even the president knows the implication of all these things. That's why he came out and said that he's ashamed of it. So what do you guys really think? Should African countries continue speaking out to resist their pushing, or they should keep quiet and watch things played out? What do you think? Don't forget, this is Gist Plus. Like this video, drop your comments on your comment section, subscribe and turn on your notification bell so that you never miss any update like this. And don't forget, I still remain your favorite guy, Nobu.